Welcome. Will today we'll be seeing the topic of integrity. Topic number 135. We'll finish the easy topics first, then we'll go to the other topics line by line. So the integrity topic is very important because there are many questions that have been asked in previous years of UPSC CSE mains. So in this perspective, we'll try to do reverse engineering so that we'll understand what are the topics, subtopics, and sub-subtopics that is asking for the topic of integrity, and we'll also cover various dimension in order to cover whenever there is a keyword of integrity in the question, so that we can answer it properly. Okay. So these are the questions that asked in previous year's question. Uh, and this is our first topic of uh, paper 5 and GS4 ethics. So in the question or in the main is also is ethics, integrity, and aptitude. Although in the conventional teaching process, they will say each topic from starting to ending, but we are discussing the only topic which is related to PYQ and the dimensions around it in the examination perspective. So these are all the topics. Every topic will touch. Every topic subtopic will be doing in this uh, particular session. Uh, just like observe this, as this is the first day of doing ethics, just observe the topics. Topic number 135 is integrity, 136 is probity, 137 is problem solving approach to that integrity and probity, 138 is conflicts faced by the officer in dealing with the society, 139 is different case studies, 140 is the ethics and human interface. 141 is the essence of ethics. 142 is determinants and consequences of ethics. 143 is the dimensions of ethics. 144 is ethics in public and private relationship. 145 is human values, the lessons from the lives and teachings of great leaders. So we'll be doing some 20 to 30 leaders and their teachings and their lives and their contribution to the subject of ethics. So in that there are two people like reformers, administrators, and in that role of family, role of society, role of educational institutions. We'll also cover in sociological perspective too, and then attitude. What is attitude and what is its content? What is its structure? And then moral and political attitudes. Everything, whatever there in my notes, I will be explaining here. So this the main aim of this keeping this posting on it on YouTube is for my own consistency and also to get clarity on my subject and also to focus on my particular uh, preparation and all. And as I'm doing this, so it might help for the beginners or for the people who are interested in subject. So you can watch if it is interesting and all. Again, aptitude, integrity, dedication to public service, empathy, tolerance. Please listen it in 1.25x or 1.5x, so that it will be easy for you and you can save some time. And then 163 emotional intelligence, 164 its applications, contribution of moral thinkers, philosophers, and 166 ethics in public administration, etc. Status and their problems, ethical concerns. And from here, we'll cover both governance topics and ethics topics. Whatever I understood, giving with various examples, I wanted to explain it simply. The main aim is in college days also, while the lecturers are explaining things, many people can't understand. But if he explains, we can understand very well. So in the same way, I will be explaining in this video. If you are getting if you are getting clarity, you can do it, or you can do some suggestions also in whatever the way. So I decided to explain every topic of the mains, and also we'll be covering some topper copies also. So this probity in governance, concept of public service, philosophical basis, information sharing and transparency in government, right to information. These are all the governance topics, and also the ethics topic. So these will be reading in both governance and ethics. Will be combinedly reading. After completing the first few topics, then we'll cover this governance. Whenever from corporate governance, we'll be reading both the GS paper 2 and GS paper 4 topics. So, and code of ethics, code of conduct, the citizen charter, work culture, quality of service delivery, utilization of public funds, challenges of corruption. All these are like governance issues, and also the ethics chapter. So now today we'll be starting the topic integrity. Topic number 135. So what is ethics? See, sorry, what is integrity? Here the term is the integrity. Integrity means combine something. So it is adherence to values and principles even in the face of temptation or pressure. So this is the definition. So what is the integrity? You're abiding by your values and principles. What are the values? Values are some personal belief or a social beliefs, whereas principles are universal truth. For example, we should not cheat in the examination. It's a principle. We should not take corruption. It's a principle. So even when there is a pressure, when there is a external pressure, when there is external things also, you will be doing your which is uh, which is good to you, which is values. So that is integrity. And also we can write as other thing. Integrity means adapting similar standards or moral principles in similar situation across time. Whatever the things happen, you are adhering to the certain values and principles. So that is integrity. What is integrity? Integrity is adherence following certain values and principles, even there is a temptation from outside, even in the face of pressure. So, for example, you are an officer. You are an officer. You, for example, you possess integrity. So, what you'll be having? You'll be having courage, honesty, consistency, accountability, and fairness. Integrity also means mansa vacha karmina. That means walk the talk. Whatever you are speaking, you are doing that. Courage. So, what is courage? Courage is standing by one's principles even in the face of adversity. Whatever the threat from the outside, if it is against the rules, if it is against the regulations of the government, uh, you will be fighting for that. I mean, you will be courageously doing your activity. Honesty means uh, being whatever you are doing, you are being in all situations like that. Consistency, whatever happens, you'll be consistently respecting your values, abiding by them. Accountability means taking responsibility for one's actions and decisions. Fairness means treating all individuals with impartiality without bias. For example, there's a problem. If MLA comes and says, there are different category of people. If you are doing your work to different kind of people, then it is not fairness. For example, uh, there is a voting elections are going on. If some higher businessman comes, you can't give him a separate line. He should follow the line as common citizens. So that is a fairness example of fairness, you can say. Uh, so here, uh, in examination, you can observe that there are been different quotations. There are different quotes. For example, integrity is a value that empowers the human being. In looking for people to hire, you look for three qualities: integrity, intelligence, energy, and they don't have the first, the other two will kill you. So by Baron Buffett. And here, one of the tests of integrity is complete refusal to be compromised. This is also a quotation. Integrity without knowledge is weak and useless, but knowledge without integrity is dangerous and dreadful. So this is also a quotation. So in this way, they are asking about the quotations. So now we'll see different codes of integrity, and then we'll uh, try to think in examination perspective. Integrity codes. So see here, integrity is choosing your thoughts and actions based on values rather than personal gain. Right? Integrity is a choice between what's convenient and what is right. By Tony Dongi. It is true that integrity alone won't make you a leader, but without integrity, you will never be one. So here they will be giving some quotations and they'll be asking why it is. So just think in this each quotation, just stop it and you can think why. Integrity is telling myself the truth, and honesty is telling the truth to other people. See, there is internal meaning for everything here. Integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is watching. This is also you can write it as a definition when what do you understand by integrity, right? Integrity is telling myself the truth and honesty is telling the other people. Integrity is the first step to true greatness. See here, there is other quotation. With integrity, you have nothing to fear. Since you have nothing to hide, with integrity, you will do the right thing, so you will have no guilt. So these are all the outcomes of the integrity. So you can include in your notes. Uh, and see, integrity is make sure that the things you say and the things you do are in alignment. So whatever you are saying, whatever you are doing, it should be in alignment. Okay, and without strong integrity, you can't remain on top. Integrity is making the things you say and the things you do are in alignment. Wisdom is knowing the right path to take. Integrity is taking it. So these are many quotes on integrity. On each value, on each topic, we'll be seeing like this. And now, after, I think now you got to understand what is integrity. Here also the integrity gives it, not it is not a taker. Integrity gives, it is not a taker. Who does not understand how to lead himself cannot lead others. So integrity is everything. So there are certain quotations. And now we'll get back to the topic, the same topic. Okay. See, integrity without knowledge is weak and useless. But knowledge without integrity is dangerous and dreadful. So here you need to understand integrity without knowledge is weak and useless. But knowledge without integrity is dangerous and dreadful. Suppose you don't have a knowledge, but you have integrity. Then what happens? You're a serpent of a village, and don't know how the account system works, how the money goes, transfers, and some technology related to that. But you have the integrity that you need to you need to be accountable. You should not waste the public fund, etc., etc. Think that scenario and think other scenario that if you have knowledge but you don't have integrity. If you don't have integrity, then you don't have honesty, you don't have accountability, don't have transparency. But knowledge, if you have, then it will become danger. Okay, in that way you can give some examples of this. It's a quote by Samuel Johnson. um, my system got struck. Okay, then we'll see uh, integrity without knowledge. What happens if you don't have knowledge but you have integrity? Without knowledge, even a good person can be ineffective as a lacks skills or understanding, as we have discussed in the Sarpanch example. Knowledge without integrity. You don't have integrity, but you have knowledge. Knowledge means the information, the skills, the understanding, etc., etc. Without integrity, a knowledgeable person can misuse their abilities for harmful purposes. With the knowledge, with the, suppose criminal don't have integrity, but he have knowledge. What he does harm things. He uses his knowledge, he uses hacking, he uses he don't have ethics, and he does different things, and he does bad for the society. So that is that. Okay. So the in the quotation we have seen why integrity without knowledge is weak and useless. Because if you don't have knowledge but you have integrity, then you can't solve countless problems. You can't guide others effectively because you don't know the things, and it will be ineffective. But in the same way, if you have the integrity without knowledge and all, these are the problems. And but what is the problem if you have? What is a positive thing that if you have integrity means people will trust you. People, if you will be having strong moral values and that they can understand you. For example, a kind doctor without medical knowledge wants to help patients but fails to treat them effectively. For example, a doctor is there, he's a fake doctor, means he don't have knowledge, but he have intention to help the people. Then what's the use? No use, right? So knowledge without here in this example, he have integrity but no knowledge. Then gone. Why it is dangerous? Why it is dangerous means you have knowledge. You may use that knowledge for killing other people and gaining money. Uh, your intention might be wrong, etc., etc. For example, a police officer is there, a criminal is there. Criminal is giving bribe to the police officer. He have police officer have a knowledge how to make this account settle and all. It will harm the society, and it will misuse of power and manipulation. Unethical decision making will be there and all. But what the positivities of it is you have knowledge, so you are in clear, you are skilled, you are able to solve problems, you are technical capable, but you are doing it in you are using that knowledge in wrong way. Example is given: a corrupt scientist uses his chemical knowledge to make harmful drugs or weapons for personal gain. So that is the thing. The scientist is there, he is knowledgeable, but he don't have integrity, he don't have the certain value system. Then what will he do? He will make he will make harmful drugs for personal gain, for money and all. I have watched in various movies also those things. So simple summary of it is: if you have integrity and knowledge, then your purpose is powerful because it creates a positive impact. For example, IAS officer is there. He have integrity and he have knowledge. He will use his knowledge and integrity for good governance of the country. But whereas if an IAS or IPS officer, if he has if he don't have that much knowledge, interest on certain things, then it will be morally it will be good, but it is ineffective. Whereas he has high knowledge, but if there is no integrity, then it might be dangerous. Uh, for example, there are IAS officer in Delhi. Um, he have full knowledge, but he have used his knowledge in some scam, some liquor scam, etc., etc. I'm not sure of this, but just citing it as an example. He's capable of creating a good change in the society, but it is harmful. The case is yet not yet proven, but yeah. So that might be a good example for giving having knowledge without integrity. We'll see some various examples also because in ethics examples are most important so that you can decipher the writing thing while we do it. For example, three kind of persons are there. Integrity without knowledge. He don't have knowledge, but he have good intentions. A honest villager, but he if he is illiterate. Knowledge without integrity. cyber criminal, hacking, etc., etc. Both together means a person having the integrity, a person having knowledge means a good teacher. A good teacher changing the lives. And there is another quotation by Chris Catcher, uh, by Chris Catcher. Okay, integrity is choosing your thoughts and action based on values rather than personal. So what is it? Integrity is choosing your thoughts and action based on values rather than personal. Integrity, like you will choosing your thoughts, what action you do, on what the action will be based on the value system rather than personal gain. So doing what is right, not what gives you benefit or reward. What is right, you have to do. That is integrity, and without compromising the accountability, because we have seen if you summarize, if you add all these things, uh, what honesty, courage, accountability, fairness, all these things comes to integrity. So integrity is a part of integrity has this. When you add all these things, integrity will come. So doing what is right and not what gives you benefit or reward. For example, integrity means helping others even no one is watching, telling the truth even if you get scolded, sharing your toys because it's kind. So helping others even when no one is watching. Um, so those are the integrity examples to say to a kid. Okay. So like next thing is in the context of civil servant. Take a situation. For example, a contractor offering a bribe to pass a low quality road project. That's the situation. A contract is there. He's offering a bribe to a civil servant uh, in order to lay a low quality road project so that uh, he gains a certain profit. What a civil servant who have integrity, what he will do, he will reject the project and he will think about the public safety and the values. And a man without integrity, he will accept the bribe and approves the project. So that is what. So here, integrity is choosing your thoughts and action based on values rather than personal gain. It's a quote. For the meaning, for the civil servant, it will be like making decisions, thinking about honesty, fairness, public welfare, and all, and not for personal gain. So that is integrity in this perspective. And why it is important for civil servants is it builds a public trust. It ensures fair and just governance. It protects welfare of common citizens. And if a person don't have integrity, then corruption will rise. Then there is a misuse of authority for selfish reasons, and it harms the society due to selfish decisions. So those things happens. Real life example is IAS officer refusing the illegal mining permits despite political pressure. Here, by definition, integrity is adherence to values and principles, even in the face of temptation or pressure. So maybe the political pressure will be there in the face of pressure. Temptation means temptations for maybe for personal gains like money or some power or any promotion, etc. Okay. Uh, well, so integrity is choosing your thoughts and action based on values rather than this one we have completed. Next one, what is a characteristic of a person with integrity? Because when we say that this person has integrity, What should he have? What are the characteristics? One is he should make the decisions ethically. He should have some moral compass and chooses the right thing even it is difficult. And he should act very consistently with his values. One time he should, if he says right, and the same thing, if the same situation comes, if he says wrong, then it is not consistent. He should be consistently withstand with his values. That is the second characteristic. Third one is he should have moral courage. He should refuse to participate in unethical practices, whatever it may be, and he should be reliable. That means they can be trusted to do what they say in maintaining commitment and promises. They should be reliable. Suppose an officer, if we say that this officer is he has some integrity, then he should be reliable. Certain situation comes if he promises certain things, and the people should have confidence on him that yes, this person is reliable, and he should be honestful and truthful. He should not deceive him for personal gain, and he should admit mistakes. And he is a person who takes responsibility for their choices. For example, Gandhiji and Abraham Lincoln, though there is a crisis of attack occurred, they took the responsibility of their choices. For example, Abdul Kalam, once the rocket have failed, then he took as a leader of that, he took the failure on his face, and then when success came, he have shared that success to all the people. He have given the credit of the success. So, a person with integrity, he will take the responsibility of their choices. That's the thing. For example, it's an old example like Ashok Kemka. He recently retired. He have shown a professional integrity with his consistency, and he has though there is a backlash from both, there is a phase of pressure from various politicians. He has withstood with his integrity. Second example might be the Nelson Mandela. After 27 years of imprisonment and fighting against apartheid people, Mandela emerged as a great leader. He committed to uh, reconciliation and forgiveness. So because he believed that nation is more than a personal revenge. So in that way, he have demonstrated his integrity by upholding these values of peace and justice. And Abraham Lincoln, he says that I'm not born to win, but I'm born to be true. I'm not born to succeed, but I'm born to live with life that I have. See, winning is not important for Lincoln. He should be true for himself. And success is not important for him. It is to live with whatever he has. I must stand with anybody that stands right and stands with him while he is right and part with him when he is wrong. So he's saying that I must stand with anybody that stands right and stand with him while he's right and part with him while he goes wrong. So that is integrity. And the other dimensions that we can cover in this topic is the importance of integrity in civil services. For example, serving public civil servants holds a great power which is entrusted to them by the society. Their integrity, fairness, it promotes democracy values. That is the first why it is important for for the civil servant to be to have the value of integrity is for serving public for promoting the democratic values. And then if he has integrity, then he can uphold the good governance things because integrity is a cornerstone of good governance. And when the officers are with integrity, then it creates an environment for the people to trust in the officer, to make things smooth. And it can also, by that we can combat the corruption also. Why, if individual are with integrity, walk the talk, then there is less scope for corruption and rightful commitment will be there. For example, Bihar is backward in many aspects. So why? Because there in northeast states and in the Bihar region, the corruption is high. Because of that corruption, the officers and other people are not interested or they are not investing in good governance things. Because of that, the development is uh, is not happening well. And if the civil servant is with integrity, then he can manage the public resources as well as he have knowledge and integrity both. For example, a disaster management official is there. If he is an integral, if he has a value of integrity, then he will allocate the funds timely and efficiently. And also to maintain the law and order, constitutional obligations, uh, no misuse of power, performing duties. So those things in order to promote the moral leadership. Okay, and also uh, moral leadership. A senior officer other in integrity inspires their subordinates to follow their ethic. It will create an example for the other people to follow. It will create a path for moral leadership. It will create a public confidence and also of public grievances, building trust in government. Okay, so civil servants with integrity, they will ensure the policies are implemented fairly and public funds are utilized properly and citizens' rights are protected. So this creates form for ethical governance. For example, while you are traveling in railway, you often wonder why these railways are this much dirty or this much clean or etc. Behind that, there are officials that is taking care of maybe the zonal railway stations, the head railway stations, etc. etc. And we will wonder that what officers are doing while this place is hygienic, etc. etc. So if the people, if the officers work with integrity, then everything will be clean. The funds are utilized well, and people will ask nicely. There will be good grievance redressal mechanism, etc. etc. So you are wanting to become a good civil servant. What characteristics you need to have, and that characteristics why you need to have. So you need to have to solve certain problem. For example, the characteristics of a person with integrity is he should be consistent. Why you need to be consistent? Because there are situations, many situations that is coming. So at every situation, if you stand in the same way with the integrity, then problem will be solved. You need to be make the decisions very properly. So these things are there. And there is a second administrative reforms commission. What its uh, idea on integrity is they have created some detailed blueprint. Okay, the blueprint. They have my laptop is trucking. I don't know why. Detailed blueprint they made. So in that they have mentioned what a person must not and what a person must. In the civil servant, he should not disclose information without authority. He should not misuse his official position. He should not disclose whatever information, though he is retired. After his retirement, he should not disclose certain information that is there in the departments. He should not accept the gifts or hospitality, which might compromise his judgments. So that is a person must not. What a person must. Okay, a person must comply with law and uphold administrative justice. He should fulfill his duties and responsibilities well. He should make sure public money and resources used efficiently, and he should act in professional way, which retains public confidence. So these are all the person must. What you are an administrator, think what you need to have. You need to uphold law and order. You should do the administrative justice should be done, and you should whatever the duties and responsibilities assigned to you, you need to do it fairly and because you are the administrator, you'll be having hand on certain funds, fund utilization things. So you should use the public money in efficient manner without wasting the resources. You should act in a professional way, so that the public is confident on the government law and law officers, etc. And you should be transparent and open in the public dealings. Suppose if the people are asking the certain questions, you need to able to answer those questions in a right manner. So there is a, small thing, the difference between honesty and integrity. Though both sounds in meaning similar, but there is a little difference between honesty and integrity. Now we'll see what is the difference between the honesty and integrity. Uh, Honesty. What is honesty? Honesty is being truthful or standing by what one says. Though you might be doing wrong. For example, you have taken money from your father's pocket, and your father asked, Did you take money?" If you said yes, it is then you are the person with honesty. Though it is wrong, you said that yes, I did it. So that is honesty. And integrity. So integrity is about being consistent with the with adherence to one's values and promises, as we discussed in the starting. So honesty without integrity is possible. See, you can be doing wrong thing and you can say yes, I did wrong. So that is honesty, right? So it is possible. But integrity without honesty is not possible, because integrity itself is a part of honesty. I mean, honesty and integrity goes, they are aligning values. Okay. In honesty focuses primarily on truthfulness and transparency, whereas integrity, it refers to consistently living by moral and ethical principles. Just think, integrity means values and principles you are abiding always, no matter what the condition. Mm. So telling the truth even when it is difficult, it is example of honesty. You can refusing to engage in corruption activities even there is no chance of being caught, even nobody is seeing. So we have seen one quotation that integrity is what you do when nobody is seeing or when nobody is watching, like that. So honesty is external and internal moral consistency. So that is what the difference between admitting mistake shows honesty, whereas taking responsibility to fix the mistakes demonstrates integrity. For example, there is some mistake happened in something. You took the responsibility as an officer and you offer the solution. It reflects that you are an integral person. You have the person with integrity. So that is what. So there's a integrity pact. So what is integrity pact is, it is basically a tool which is used to prevent corruption and ensure transparency in public sector procurement process. Okay, it's binding between government agencies and all bidders contractors who are involved in a contract. Integrity pact. Pact is something document. Okay, integrity pact means like you will be saying that I, I promise that I don't involve in any corruption and I will be transparent. Okay, so what are the key elements is, you'll be committed to transparency. Uh, you will say that I don't take any bribery or corruption. Independent monitoring will be there. If you do breaching, then penalty will be there. So in the document they will be writing those things. So what is the relevance is, it is like cost efficiency. It is like minimizing corrupt practices. It will increases the public trust. It will ensure the contracts. Uh, so Central Vigilance Commission, it has promoted use of integrity packs in public sector undertaking to ensure large contracts. And there are certain things that I've written from the lexicon ethics book regarding the topic of integrity. Okay, so these following things are most valid. Okay, in that integrity topic they have given. First one is, suppose you think that you are an officer. What will you do? You should not use your position for benefiting others. I mean, privately you should not do. And no excessive entertainment with subordinates. Why? If you entertain your subordinates, then they might not listen to you if you're though they are serious like that. But the friendly relations are required, and you should not put yourself in a position of suspicion that you are giving contracts to your own people, to your own family, etc., etc. Okay. You should encourage the public service values. You should treat people impartial, regardless of political, social, economical, socio-demographic circumstances. You need to enforce public service values and rules of conduct, and you need to have the courage of conviction. For example, in certain cases, you might not get the support from government. For example, in Manipur, there is an IS officer who have led 100 kilometers road by taking support from the local people by an initiative. So courage of he have that courage of conviction. His main aim is to construct a road which is beneficial for people, so he can able to do that. So that we can do. Provide honest and frank advice to the seniors, not seniors, especially to the politicians. So that is your duty. So we need to, and you can challenge powerful. You should not. You should challenge powerful and influential people also to hold them accountable. Take accountability for your own action, etc., etc. And there is other term called intellectual integrity. Intellectual integrity means, uh, for example, you believe something, but there is a proof that your belief is wrong. Okay, so you need to accept that evidence even when challenges are our own beliefs. So that is called as intellectual integrity. Intellectual integrity is recognition of the need to do one's own thinking and to hold oneself to the same standards one expects others to meet. For example, I feel like uh, people should treat me like this, and in the same way, I should also. I'm expecting them. What you're expecting from other officers, you should behave also in the same way. So that is a similar thing. That is intellectual integrity. We'll also see the intellectual hypocrisy and then types of integrity and the basic examples. Okay. So intellectual integrity, there are various examples that I have looked on. So as we have discussed, integrity without honesty, honesty without integrity examples. Just like you can pause this video and you can read it. So, for example, a civil servant hides corruption and reports to protect the department. In civil servant is there. In some certain things, there is a corruption happens. So, in order to protect his department, he have hidden that corruption have been happening. So, it is not integrity because it is hiding the truth, and hiding the truth itself breaking the integrity because integrity means telling the truth. And integrity requires exposing wrongs even if it is difficult. So it is not integrity. Okay. Other example is a student admits he copied but wants to improve. Means honestly he have expressed himself that and he's willing to improve. So that is the integrity example simply. So formula means integrity is honesty plus moral courage plus consistent action plus courage of conviction. All these things include integrity. Courage of conviction means whatever the things you need to, you're standing firm on your beliefs and values even in the face of criticism, failure, or difficulty. Uh, for example, the miracle man from Nagaland, uh, he have led 100 kilometers people's road in Manipur. without government funds. He believed the remote villages need the road, so he mobilized the public donations and led villages himself, ignoring traditional bureaucracy. So other famous examples are like Mahatma Gandhi. He have continued the non-violent protests like Satyagraha even when he is arrested and beaten. So that is a courage of conviction. He have that conviction for independence. So have the courage. So example of courage of conviction, Gandhi. Ambedkar, he have fought for the Dalit rights and drafted the constitution in the favor of Dalits. Though there is opposition and criticism from other leaders who are of higher, who belong to higher caste. Okay. So courage of conviction is believing in rights, standing firm, and whatever the pressure comes, facing boldly. So intellectual integrity. Intellectual integrity means uh, being honest with your thinking and respecting the evidence and accepting the truth even when it challenges your own beliefs. That is what we have told in previously. It is challenging, though it is challenging your own beliefs, you should accept the evidence, respecting the evidence, and you are being honest. Okay. So real life, when you take Dr. APJ Kalam, uh, he did not hide failures to save his reputation, and he valued the truth and learning from mistakes over protecting ego or public image. So that is an example of intellectual integrity. And we can see other examples also, like a scientist is there. A scientist, while he is doing experiments, it might disprove his hypothesis. Okay. A judge is there. He is giving a fair judgment based only on evidence, not personal beliefs or public pressure. So that is intellectual integrity. A student. A student admitting that, oh, I don't know this thing. And he wanted to learn instead of pretending to know. That is intellectual integrity. He knows that he don't know, right? But he is not pretending that he knows. So that is an example of intellectual integrity. Okay. Intellectual integrity. In that comes the word evidence comes, respect for evidence, and he should be open-minded for truthful. See, in the three things, a scientist, like his truthfulness in thinking, because he thought something is there, but while he is doing experiments, some other thing is there. But he don't manipulate his data to disprove his hypothesis. Okay. And he respects that evidence. Oh, this chemical I added to this chemical. I thought this will come, but this came. You don't manipulate the data. So it evolves. A judge will give a fair judgment without adding any personal biasness to it. With open mindedness. If if there is a closed mindedness, if there is a bias, then the judgment will become wrong. He can't give his right judgment. So he should have the intellectual integrity. And there is other term called intellectual hypocrisy. We'll see what are the examples and negativities out of it. Intellectual hypocrisy. Intellectual hypocrisy means you will pretending to follow logic and truth while actually ignoring facts and using double standards to suit personal gain. Okay, means you'll be saying something, but you're not doing that. We'll see the example. For example, a leader a leader promotes Make in India publicly. But if he secretly buys foreign luxury products for his personal use, then he's doing the hypocrisy. He's not following it. The leader preaches patriotism and economic nationalism, but does not follow it personally, showing double standards. He is saying, but he is not following. Like two examples are political leaders in the country. Okay. Other simple example is take a teacher. For example, teacher says that you should be honest, you should promote integrity, etc., etc. He teaches values. But the same teacher, if he cheats in paying the taxes, and also if he says that you should not drink, drinking is bad habit, and if he is habituated to drinking, then it is called as intellectual hypocrisy. For example, environmental activist is there. He speaks about the saving planet, uh, but if he uses the private jets and for short trips and ignoring the carbon footprint, it's an intellectual hypocrisy. For example, you are a follower, you are an animal lover, you promote that. But if you eat chicken mutton, then it is intellectual hypocrisy. For example, a judge or officer. If the judge and officer he preaches that about law enforcement, but if he uses the personal contacts to bypass legal procedures, then he's like intellectually he's showing that intellectual hypocrisy. If a police person is there, well, a traffic police says that you should mandatorily use helmet for whatever so reasons. I mean, while you are riding bike, you should wear helmet. It's mandatory. Without helmet, you should not ride. But if the same traffic police is riding without any helmet, that is called as intellectual hypocrisy. Okay. So, so we have discussed all these things. Hmm. What happened? What is the negative aspects of intellectual hypocrisy? Is people will lose public trust. Means these officers say something, these politicians will say something, but they are doing other thing. They are making double game. So people will lose interest. The trust will not be there on the government, and it will promote the corruption. It will set a bad example. For example, a traffic police is standing on the say, and he says that wear helmet. But if you are giving money and manipulating him, in that way, it will promote the corruption, and it will erode the moral values. It will weaken honesty, sincerity, and the policy failure will come because if leaders and the implementers, the officers, if they fail to believe in certain thing, and if they can't follow the what they preach, then it's a policy failure, and people will like stop believing in ideals, honesty, etc., etc., because of the intellectual hypocrisy. As we have seen in the starting of this session with the Warren Buffett example, that is, in looking the people to hire you, you look for three qualities: integrity, influence, and energy. So this is the previous year's question. If they don't have the first, I mean, if they don't have the integrity, then other two will kill them. That is, influence and energy will kill them. So, so what is the essence of the Warren Buffett quote in this is integrity. Integrity is like doing what is right when nobody is watching. So that is basic, simplest understanding of integrity. And influence means ability to think, process, solve problems, learn fast, etc. Energy is enthusiasm, hardworking. Uh, Energy means energy to do some action. But here, if integrity is not there means if you are doing corruption, you are not moral, you don't have honesty, etc., etc. This, whatever the influence and energy can become dangerous. Why? For example, there is an IPS officer. He have high influence, that's why he cracked exam. He has high energy. But if the same energy, same influence, if he used it to support the criminal activities, then it hamper the development and it will increase the criminal things. No, because he can use his influence to cheat, manipulate, and find loopholes in the rules and regulations, and he can do. So that is what. So what the Warren Buffett want to convey is, he said that skills and hard work are useful only when guided by honesty. He prefers character over competence, and he said that moral foundation is non-negotiable. Um, For example, uh, a field, take one field, civil servants are there. If the civil servant, the civil servant who is with integrity, he uses influence and energy to solve problems, honestly. But without integrity, he can exploit the system, he can demand bribes, he can help criminals. For example, take police officers. A police officer with integrity, he fights crime and protects people truthfully. But without integrity, he uses that trap and he uses the he uses to trap innocent people or favor criminals for money. Take politician. If he has certain integrity, he have integrity, then he will obviously works for welfare schemes with sincerity. But without integrity, what happens? He uses the same influence and resources to win the votes through false promises and corruption. Take daily life example. For example, situation office account manager. The people who manage the accounts. If he is an integrity person, then accounts will be good. If he is not integral, then he might steal that resources. He might steal that money, etc. So a dangerous person is who is a person with influence, energy, and don't have integrity. So that is what it is. See, there is other example. One of the tests of integrity is complete refusal to be compromised. One of the tests of integrity is complete refusal to be compromised. So this is one example of integrity. I mean the quotation. So see, if we can explore the examples for each word, then in exam we can elaborate on the things, certain things very easily. And examples, giving example will fetch us good marks. A person with true integrity never allows their values to be compromised. So even in the face of adversary and etc., there no compromise. See, why refusal to compromise is a test of integrity means integrity should not be negotiable. It should be non-negotiable. Because if it is negotiable, then the value system will fall down. Then it will lead to corruption, it will lead to other bad things, it will hamper the values, it will breach the public trust, etc. And why refusal to compromise is a test of you should not compromise. You should not compromise for your values. You should not compromise for your temptation. For example, if a person is offering a bribe of 50 crore, you should not tempt. If you're tempting to accept bribes, them and then it's gone. And moral courage is the key. So uh, there is a various examples that from the daily life from India. There is one person, E. Sridharan, he's a metro man. He refused the political interference during Delhi metro construction. He focused on only on transparency and project quality. Then other person, chief election commissioner is there, Sheshan, another person is there. So they did some various activities. I mean examples of integrity so who have not go down the political pressure, etc., etc. So in this way, these are all the examples for these are the all the examples for doing that. And so we have discussed this. So there are different types of integrity. That is financial integrity, professional integrity to be competent to follow the rules. There is intellectual integrity. That is you should be coherent to your thoughts and conviction. There is personal integrity. So whatever you need to follow the moral principles of life. Uh, Artistic integrity is some people creates work as they love to art. So there are certain examples in news that in Kerala they have conducted some honesty shops where there are different items for which each item there is a price tag and there's no salesman there and the students will go there and keep the money which is mentioned on the service tag and the tag. So for better civic sense. So this is the topic of integrity, and again we'll be seeing different proper copies in the next after finishing all these topics. We'll be looking on the proper copies and few answers. So because I'm doing that, so I wanted to do it on Zoom and explain things so that everything goes well. So that's all for the topic of integrity. Next topic is uh, next topic related to ethics is probity in public life. So we'll be knowing what is probity uh, in public life and different dimensions in examination perspective. So these are the starting videos that I'm like trying to explain and posting. So as time proceeds, I think I will improve in explaining these things. So all the very best. Bye.